Ascent Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Decision Intelligence. Transform your team and organization with AI-driven decision-making by Thorsten Heilig and Ilhan Scheer. Narrated by Tom Parks. Publisher's Note. In this audio edition, you will hear references to figures and tables present in the print and ebook formats of the book. Limit of liability / disclaimer of warranty. While the publisher and author have used their best efforts in preparing this book, they make no representations or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the contents of this book, and specifically disclaim any implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. No warranty may be created or extended by sales representatives or written sales materials. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. Further, listeners should be aware that websites listed in this work may have changed or disappeared between when this work was written and when it is heard. Neither the publisher nor author shall be liable for any loss of profit or any other commercial damages, including, but not limited to, special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Every single decision we make, every breath we draw, opens some doors and closes many others. Most of them we don't notice. Some we do. Douglas Adams. Forward. In the fast-paced, dynamic world of business, we are making decisions every second. As technology accelerates the pace of change, we find ourselves constantly responding to new information, new opportunities, and new challenges. Yet some of the world's best thinkers, philosophers, and business leaders, think Steve Jobs, for instance, have been known for taking long pauses, sometimes even up to 30 seconds, before sharing their responses. I remain convinced that in all the rush, good decisions require reflection and intuition. Sound decisions emerge out from quiet reflections, from calm environments, and from conversations that allow many voices to be heard, to grow equally balanced thought patterns, and then make the call. Consider this. We are often seduced by the promise of data, its ability to recount where we've been with unwavering certainty. It's alluring, isn't it? But let's step back for a moment and think about it. Can data, in its cold precision, truly illuminate where we are heading? Perhaps not. Data, while valuable, is like a rear-view mirror. It can perfectly detail the road traveled, but the path ahead? That's a different story. The future is uncharted territory, a journey not yet embarked upon, a tale not yet told. In our quest to navigate the future, we mustn't lose sight of our uniquely human insight. It's our compass, our guiding star. It transcends the reach of data, infusing our decisions with the warmth of human understanding, empathy, and intuition. These human elements shape not just the decisions we make, but also the very fabric of our interactions. In a world bewitched by data, let's not forget our inherent human ability to dream, to imagine, and to create, to chart a course toward a future not yet seen. After all, isn't it these human insights that truly hold the power to tell us where the world is heading? However, with the emergence of decision intelligence, a new discipline that courageously combines human intuition and artificial intelligence for strategic and operational planning, I do see a promising shift on the horizon. This book, Decision Intelligence, Transform Your Team and Organization with AI-Driven Decision-Making by Thorsten Heilig and Ilhan Scheer, masterfully captures this evolution. The book presents an approach that might indeed predict where the world is heading in our ever-changing business landscape. It advocates a balanced and nuanced way of decision-making that draws on both data and human insights. This dual-pronged approach could potentially revolutionize how we make decisions. bringing a level of foresight and strategic thinking previously unattainable. Recently, when I spent time with the CEO of one of the leading FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods companies in the U.S., I asked him how much time he spent by himself only, away from screens, his phone, and meeting rooms, just reflecting on the situation. He paused and was silent for nearly 2 minutes. Then he answered, "Right now is probably the longest time I've had in the past years thinking about a question." That very week, he reserved the first 4 hours of every Friday morning for what he called thinking time. Here's the issue. We rarely take the time to think deeply. And in a world where answers are expected not in hours, but in minutes, we often share reactive rather than proactive thoughts. If this becomes part of our behavior, our routine, our brains adapt. We're suddenly no longer comfortable spending time alone, without a smartphone at the ready, or without hearing that constant string of dings signaling incoming emails, because it makes us feel like we've been disconnected, useless, irrelevant, out of tune, all while the world, with the latest version of ChatGPT, passes us by at breakneck speed. 6 years ago, I jumped into the ocean of silence. I got rid of my phone. Not just the smart version, but every version. Not an easy task, given that I spent more than 1 million miles a year in the air, traveling across the globe. The week after the beginning of my detox, I experienced a sense of loneliness, emptiness, even despair, something akin to what an addict might feel as they do the hard and necessary work of going through withdrawal. But over time, I felt my way of thinking change. My personal assistant told me I was much easier to deal with, not sending and resending the same orders repeatedly, as she expressed it. My clients even embraced the idea, at first thinking it was a joke, then realizing it might be a source of my creativity and balanced reflections. These pauses help us to put things in perspective, change directions, reflect, and simulate scenarios that may at first seem trivial, but once pondered, they often make a lot of sense. How can we possibly make any of these great calls if the speed of reply time is what is perceived as the KPI? Time after time, I've met great leaders out in the world, and many seem to have adopted pauses in their everyday lives. Breaks in the busy daily calendar meant for intentional reflections. As ChatGPT seeps into every juncture of our lives and informs our decision-making, enabling us to craft essays, reflect on the most hardcore philosophical questions, or even conduct risk analysis in a matter of seconds, we'll all be tempted by the seduction it offers, making us more efficient, productive, perfect leaders and decision-makers. Whereas one could easily argue that the exact opposite is the case. In Decision Intelligence, Thorsten, Heilig, and Ilhan Scheer build a compelling case for the world of tomorrow's version of decision-making. It's a world representing tools unheard of just a year ago. Yet it's also a world where cultures are struggling to survive, where personal interactions are a thing of the past, where budgets are even tighter, and where the legal implications have never been larger and the rewards smaller. The authors explore all of the potential wonders that AI brings to the table, the efficiencies that such technology offers, all while considering the flip side, the temptation to abuse it, the shortcuts, the assumptions, and the plain laziness. This book is a delicately balanced cocktail, mixed up with knowledge, insight, and experience worth tapping into before you're tempted to assume that all AI tools are of highest caliber and quality. Be warned that it will take you more than a few minutes to listen to the following book. Asking ChatGPT, the chatbot informed me that it would take 262 minutes total. That's a lot if you evaluate things in terms of speed over quality. But if you believe that quality content and time is the most important asset of our day and age,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?